Well, everybody, this video that I'm showing you right now is going to teach you how to use Blackboard. Now, the college uses Blackboard. Almost every course is going to have some material on Blackboard. Obviously, the online courses are going to have a lot more on there. This video is going to show you how I set up my Blackboard. Everybody's a little bit different. We'll show you how you can do things with Blackboard, where I have things, how to navigate through them, how to take tests, and so forth. First thing I need to do is show you how to get your Blackboard account if you haven't got it set up or your username and password. So let me get out of the way, and we'll go over to the Alvin College web page. You can just simply go to alvincollege.edu. Now, to get your first access, we want to go to web access, because your web access, your Blackboard, your email, and all will use the same username and password. So once you click on that, we're going to scroll down to click here to set up Access ID. Once you click on that, it's going to have you a little thing telling you that you can get your user ID here. You can reset your password. Once you do that, check your email for your password, and then it allows you to log in. If you click on OK, it's going to come to a section where they want your last name and either your social security number or your student ID. For some reason, Chrome has put in my password and username in those two slots, but that's not what goes there. So now, if you have any difficulties with this setup, you'll need to call IT. They've got a number that you can contact right here. It's 281-756-3544, and they will be able to help you through any problems you have with that. Once you get your username and password, simply click on My Blackboard here on the Alvin College, top of the Alvin College web page, and that will bring you to the Blackboard login screen. You can alternatively just type in bb.alvincollege.edu and it will bring you directly to this login screen. Then you'll enter your username and your password that you've just gotten and click login, and it will bring you up to a screen that you can customize in your own way. On here I've got my courses. If your page doesn't have a link to your courses, right up here you can click on My Courses, and then it will scroll down and you'll find the class. And I'm going to use this juvenile course here to show you as a demonstration. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a student mode so you're going to see it more from the perspective as a student. Now, if you've taken some of my online classes prior to the summer of 2018, you'll see that the menu has changed. The college is trying to go to a little bit more standardized Blackboard experience, so everybody kind of has somewhat of a similar type setup. We've got some standard menus, and they're limiting the number of menus we can have in this menu column here on the left-hand side. You've got a link to the course homepage, which will have things like your announcements, what's new, things to do, and so forth. So you can kind of look at that. Then I'll have course content. The Start Here page was the first one we'll look at. This is the section where I used to call it my syllabus schedule tab. It's now called Start Here, and it's got information like the course syllabus. You click on it, you can pull up the course syllabus, and it will eventually pull it up. It's in a PDF file, so it will open in a new window, and you can read everything you want to know about the course requirements, and so forth. Below that, there will be a link. The order may be a little bit different depending on the course, but here's a link to my grades where you can actually go look and see your grades. We'll come back to this link after we do a practice test. Then you'll have the course schedule. It will be a tentative schedule. It may update over time. If I do have updates on it, I will let you know, but this is kind of the tentative schedule of what to expect during the semester. I'll also have a link to the textbook. In this course, I've got a textbook and a supplemental textbook. The supplemental textbook's free, but as far as that goes, it tells you what the book is. What you probably want is to search for this ISBN number. You can get it through our bookstore, or you can go wherever you want to. If you simply highlight it and search, you will most likely come up with different locations where they're selling the book at different prices. Again, it just kind of depends on the particular book of whether it will be available cheaper at the college or cheaper elsewhere. But look around. You can always save yourself some money, or so forth. Then I'm also going to have my office hours will be posted here, so that you can know when I will be in the office. During the summer, I'm in the office in the mornings. In the longer semesters, I'm in the office in the morning and the afternoon. So kind of got both of those going on. So that's kind of what will be on the start here. The video that I'm producing now will probably be found at the bottom of this page, just so that you can use it as a reference. I will also have a link to it on the week 1 page, and a link sent out to the students prior to the semester, whichever way you got to it. Next thing on here below that, the order may be different in different courses, but I'll have an exam tab. This is where the major exams will be found. It'll give you the exam schedule. In this case, there are no exams visible. All the reviews were open for this summer course. I didn't set them as a particular date because the courses are so much shorter. In the longer semesters, you'll probably not see them until about a week or two prior to the exam being visible. The exams will not be visible until they are open. So in this particular case, the first exam will be visible starting at 12:01 a.m. on June 25th, and it will remain visible to the students until 11:59 p.m. that night. So you can find it during those hours. Again, in an online class, if you haven't done the required quizzes with at least a 70 and the required discussions, it will not be visible until you do those. There's the Blackboard checks your scores, and if they're not high enough, or if you didn't participate in the discussions, it won't make the exam visible to you. So if your exam's not visible and it's during the normal hours of the exam, check and make sure you've done all the required work before you send in a panicking email, because that's the first thing I'll do when I get an email is check on that. Next thing we've got down here is going to be the research paper tab. Depending on the course, it may be research paper, it may be court observation paper, it may be case reviews, patrol observation paper, whatever. It's going to be where you find a major assignment for the course, which will include things like the requirements for the course or for the paper. If you have to choose a topic, it will list the topics, and then it will also have, if you have to choose the topics, it will have a folder down here that will be the topic selection. So you click on that topic selection in order to pick your topic, and then simply click in the box next to the title you want and type your name. If you're unable to type your name because you're using a non-compatible browser, you will always be allowed to send me an email in order to to have your selection added to that. But this is how you'll navigate to it to add your name. Most students have been able to get in there and add their name. It works in Chrome. It works in a couple other browsers. I'm not sure about the Apple stuff, but it wasn't working from Android. But so if you get to the right browser, you'll be able to type your name in there. And again, some courses you won't be selecting the topic. Like for criminal investigation, we actually do a crime scene, so you don't have to select it. Instead of the research paper, it'll be a crime scene tab, and then actually I think I've got one course where a writing course where we have a lot of writing assignments. We don't have those listed under the research paper tab, so it won't be visible to those students. The next thing on this topic selection is going to be, whoops, and it doesn't always want to go back. Let me just click on this link. Oh, and that was kind of a good thing to do. In navigating, there's this little bar up here that will let you go back to the parent site for any of these folders that are embedded under them. So in this case, that folder was embedded under here. I'll go to the topic presentation sign-up sheet, because this is an online class and you have to come to class and sign up using the same method. So if I want to go back to the research paper tab, simply click up here on here. You show it's on the presentation sign-up sheet, but I just click on the research paper tab and it'll allow me to go back. Again, on this page, you'll depending on what course you have, you'll have various things. And now with this, I've got a presentation for the paper. To submit your presentation, the video or the PowerPoint presentation, that is available to you, but you'll notice there's no research paper submission that is available. You've got a quiz that you have to take in order to show it visible, and hopefully I'll get all these answers right. Kind of show you how to take the test real quick. Click begin, and then in the case of this it's just a verification that you have done the paper correctly. They're all given to you at once. On the actual test, they're given to you one at a time. We'll show you an example of that in just a second. So here it says I used the required template. I did. I conducted a personal interview. I did not cut and paste material from another source just to write my paper. I understand that plagiarism will cause me to fail the course. The research paper I'm submitting is an original work. My reference page contains all but not some of my references, most but not all of my references. No, you need all your references in there. I have included a reference page. Whenever I use someone else's idea, I cited them in text, so forth. So that's true. Paper's APA format. I reviewed my work before I submit it. Very important. A lot of people don't. You can tell from it. And I did not write about every section in the template, but I did cover most of them. Hopefully you covered all of them, because otherwise you will not be able to fit the bill. So let me see if it will allow me to reach down here to submit this. And apparently when I clicked on the answer to question number 2, it did not accept it. So I need to go back and answer that. So I'll hit cancel, and I will go back. I won't have to demonstrate this feature on the next test. And then I conducted a personal interview. True. Go back down here and submit it. Now the warning does not show any issues, and I will click OK. When that first warning came up, you have to hit cancel. If you hit OK, you submit your paper. And I've had students submit their paper when they said, oh, okay, I need to go back. But it doesn't mean, okay, you can go back. It means, okay, submit the paper. So I'm now going to submit it. And it comes up with I need to move myself out of the way so I can get to the OK button. It comes up, tells you how long it took you to take the test and so forth. I click OK, and then it will give me my results. And it did make 100 on it. So now when I click OK down here at the bottom, if I go back to this page, now the research paper submission is available. To submit your papers, you click on the link there, and you will then be able to click Browse My Computer, select your choice, your submission, and hit Enter. And also, the papers are going to be in a plagiarism database, so you'll have to click Agree on there. Now, if you want to look at the rubric that's used to grade the paper, simply click on View Rubric, and it will tell you what I'm using as my grading criteria. So it's a good thing to look at and see what I'm looking at when I'm grading those papers. And that way you make sure you cover everything that's in those. Okay, so let me go back to the next tab. That kind of covers the research paper. If you are in an online course, there will be discussion topics there. There will be links to these discussion topics within the weekly content, so that's where we'll look at them in a moment. But if you want to go directly to the